Hello, welcome everybody to a modern stream. We're going to be playing some Naya lands today. Haven't revisited this deck in a minute. Lately I've been experimenting with adding blue to the deck list, so playing stuff like the Fairy Time Raveler and whatnot. And I wasn't too impressed with it. I thought that the mana was a lot clunkier and the payoff simply didn't feel like it was there. So what we're going to be trying today is just straight up Naya, super clean. We're going to be doing, just mono green splashing for white for prismatic ending and red for red and 6. We of course have our Chalice of the Voice and we have our win conditions in Titania, a Dryad. And then we also have Explore and a Corsair Crucifix in order to smooth our draws. Yeah, the other change that I did is I used to play a Blast Zone here, and I'm gonna be playing a Fetchland number 11, and we're gonna try to see how Fetchland number 11 feels in the shell. I was also considering playing the second Ghost Quarter in the main deck. The nice thing about Ghost Quarter is that it sort of combos with Titania in order to give you two lands from two 5/3s from a single land, even when you don't have Surinor going. So that was also the argument for trying another Ghost Quarter. It would also free up a Cyber Sludge, which is nice, but yeah, we're gonna try the Fetchland number 11, see how that feels, and then we can take it from there. But everything else is yeah, the list that we have all come to love, with Surinor, Soulguide Lantern, Shadow Spear, Expedition Map in the main deck, and then the sideboard has Force of Vigor and Endurance, two musts in all of my green decks. I'm playing at least 2 or 3 copies of both of these in any green deck. A Tireless Tracker for grinding matchups. Pulse of Morasa and Lightning Helix are here mostly because of burn. There's been a significant uptick in burn, so I wanted to have a couple of cards for that matchup. Couple of Celestia Charms for Murktide. Engineered Explosives against Hammer and whatnot, and Biting Needle against decks that Biting Needle is good against, as well as a Ghost Quarter, an extra copy Ghost Quarter against Tron. This is what we're going to be playing through a league right now. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in round number 1. Alright, we're playing against Jacob Kuminski, the current trophy leader. Who likes to play Blue Moon with Monkey? With Monkey. They could have Bolt or Heat for this, and that sucks, but going with Chalice here because it's the one that I care the least about them countering. He's considering. No Blood Moon. If they counter the Corsair, it just doesn't matter at all. Just gonna have to throw a bunch of things into the removal. And now we don't care about Blood Moon either, which is nice. I think I'm playing Dryad here. Are you using the Dryad as bait? We can go squatter them if we want to. Okay. Yeah, they don't play basic mountain. That's why I was considering ghost quartering them. But I guess we can do that next turn. Nice blood moon. And we can have a titanium play. Blood moon. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, so we can do both things. Maybe I should have ghost quartered him in response to the blood moon. Nice. 3-5-3. 3-5-3. Oh man. That's probably one of my favorite things about this deck, like how little we care about the card Blood Moon. Like, it looks like we should care, but we kind of don't, more often than not. What do we want to do here? They have Monkey, but they probably don't have DRC. Because I think Jacob likes to play more control-slanted decks instead of just the classic Blue Red Murktide nonsense. So we definitely want the endings. Maybe we can. Do we just cut the chalices actually for endurances? I kind of really like endurance. Let's do something like this. Prismara Command in the main deck is definitely interesting. I'm not sure that he's always been on that. Another hand that just plays beautifully around Blood Moon, which is nice. We have some instant speed stuff that we can do. Got some turn 2 exploring that we can do. Okay, so the moons are still in. Good to know. Gonna get a basic plains here. Here's an explorer. Gonna play that. Next turn, if they tap out, we can Ren. If they don't tap out, we can Endurance. Just gonna Murktide. That's pretty good. It's gonna be a 6/6 Murktide. 4/4 Murktide. So that I think that means that he has another Murktide in hand. I think that's what that means. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I think I want to play Corsair anyway. Maybe I should have just played Endurance there. Okay, cool. So this works out. This works out really well for us. Oh no, Endurance actually grows this, right? Why is this leaves your graveyard, man? Why is this leaves your graveyard instead of gets exiled? That's so gross. Alright. Guess we're getting raised by 2 fucking dragons. We can gain 2. We're technically not dead if we gain 2. Can we beat that? No, we can't. We actually don't have enough cards, you know, to beat that, so. Hell of a card, that Murktide Regent. Hell of a card, that Murktide Regent. Love to tell you a story. Last week, an out-of-towner came to my LGS and said he was a good friend of somebody on the R&D team. He enlightened me that the next modern band was going to be Dryad, and I just can't comprehend how much the guy had to be smoking. Yeah, probably a lot. Probably smoking a lot. So we can go Stomping Ground here. Stomping Ground Ren. Just watch you know the enemy we blew out on YouTube. Really cool game against Ron. Yeah, that was that was really happy after that match. I thought it was a fantastic watch. So am I throwing a Dryad under the bus? I think so. We countering this. Yeah, cool. Don't really care too much about the Dryad, so that's fine. Would love to see like a Blood Moon from my opponent here, because we would not care. Let's play another Dryad. Sweet. Play that. Fetch. Basic Forest plus Sigil. Murktide, explosives for 2. Yeah, I can work with this. Are we throwing another Dryad into a counter spell? I think I'm actually gonna play Corsair this time around. Doesn't have a bolt. Am I letting him untap? I don't think so. I'm definitely playing this endurance on their end step. Snapcaster Charm. Trying to have mine tech from the side, play around Soldier and Holy Heat, ever consider it? It's just bad. It's just bad. Suran Orb. I'll take that. How does this work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We play. I play this, fetch for basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Titania, get this back, play land. I think this works out. And I'm gonna get another 5/3 instead of playing the Blood Moon, instead of playing the Valakut. Because getting another 5/3 is just better than the Lightning Bolt. And he's gonna have an easier time getting rid of Titania than getting rid of the Dryad anyways. It sounds like a desperation Snapcaster. And what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna fetch and I'm gonna fail to find because I only have a single fetchable left. I only have a single fetchable left, and I'm gonna turn this into another Lightning Bolt next turn. So it's better to keep the land in my deck, but I want to have the 5/3 this turn so I can attack the next turn. That's the last fetchable, so we just have to hope that we don't draw exactly Sacred Foundry. Sweet. So now we bounce that, pick that back up, deal damage, play this, deal damage. Fetch. Kill that. Should I just play another Ren pink here and my opponent can't double block Titania, but they have to chump block? Yeah, I think so. So we play second Ren. He said GG's in chat though. I had a land that might have got me had the Valakut not happened, but I played tight. Thanks. Best of luck in the rest of the league. You too. So we keep this one, we minus there, right click, attack all. Opponent has to chump block one of my dudes. They go to 4, and then we have 4 lethal threats and a Dryad, which is also lethal. So, awesome. See you for the next round. Alright, playing against some Lurrus deck. This hand is pretty fantastic, so let's keep it. Is Helix the best option for burn? Would Knight of Autumn not be better? No, and the reason for that is that it's also an answer to monkey. Jeez, another burn gamer? So much burn, man. It's kind of mind-blowing. I'm gonna take this turn to play the Chalice, making sure that the Chalice does as much damage as possible, and I'm gonna play this Ruinov right now to play around Eidolon. So next turn I'm gonna be able to play 2-4. Hopefully that's does something. Titania, sweet. So we have a game plan. We have a game plan. In order to play this Courser, I have to take... Yeah, I guess I have to play the Courser. I don't really have a choice. Down to 10. Can gain life if we need to. And I think I'm taking damage from the Goblin, but I'm not taking damage from the Eidolon. That's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal. How much damage can I take here? Can I take 4? And I gain 2, so I only take 2. That seems doable. That seems not only doable, that seems necessary. Still nothing there. And now next turn, we have an out to win. This turn, I am obviously blocking the Cursor. I'm blocking with the Cursor, I meant to say. No, I don't want to. I want to hope that I draw a card here. Sweet. Lightning Helix my Courser. Yeah. So this is, we win the game. We have effectively won the game. Yep. They can't be Titania's with an orb. Sweet. Lurrus burn. Helix. No. I need the lands in place so I can cast Titania. And until they show me the Skullcrack, I don't need to sack anything. Like, Courser doing work against burn like it's like 2014 or something, right? Maybe Explosives is better than Force. Nah, Force can be free. Yesterday I received some cardboard. Always feels good. Keep this. I am a little bit closer to becoming a paper elementals gamer. It's the end of an era. Gobbo. That will have to die. Ooh. Ooh. Painless. I like that. Me likey painless. Swift Spear. That takes. Ooh, they're playing DRC. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Now this turn is super interesting because we can explore and get Saga going, or we can explore and set up to not take damage next turn. I think I want to not take damage next turn. Still somehow no fetches, which is bad. And I definitely want to have access to double green because of force. I'm probably gonna have to helix this thing main phase. Jesus. I guess it's just a 1/1. Well, that's not bad. I don't think I can take the damage, but that is not half bad. Can I just take the damage? I think I can take the damage. They have 0 cards in hand. We play this. Play that. Kill DRC right now. Go up to 7. Yeah, this is fine. Now we're blocking this Monastery Swift Spear. And if they want to kill my Dryad, sure. Awesome. Even less damage than I'm taking. So we have to dodge 1 removal spell. We have to dodge this 1 turn. That's good for me. That's also good for me. Okay, so we win. Sudan Orb. Let's go. See you next round. Playing against Jegantha, and I have no idea what this can be. I've seen people. Zach was playing Jegantha in Affinity yesterday. So maybe that's what's up. This hand is not very good against Affinity though. Tron or Affinity, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess this hand is bad against both of those decks, so. This one also. Jeez. I guess we're going to 4. Okay. It is Affinity. The good thing is that our matchup is very good. So we may lose this game, but our Affinity matchup is it's very, very good for us. Cranial plating. Saga. Explore or Ren? I think I want to explore actually. It's not great. But now at least my tokens can trade with my opponent's creatures. Mirror Enforcer, that's not really that big of a deal. This is a lot more of a big deal. Talked about this on Discord a bit, but what would you do for color over Naya? Because of the fairy. If you think the fairy is good, you play for colors. If you don't think the fairy is too good, you don't. So I guess whatever they suit up the plating with, I have to block. And if they have like Galvanic Blast, I lose. I guess, should I even go Squatter? I guess the one in the main deck is fine, but no, I mean, they have Saga. Really only matters if Fairy is good in the meta, yeah. That's all that it really is. But I think that the list that I was playing, I don't think that's well built. I think Explorer is just too important for the deck. Titania, Force, Courser. Treasure Vault really means no Igmoth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sure. Keep this. There's an argument for ending the Springleaf Drum there too. Like their mana base is kind of heinous. So there's definitely an argument for doing that. It's kind of a yikes. The good thing is that once we get to Titania, that should be it, really, I think. Because Suran Orb is gonna pick up the pieces. Mid Enforcer. Four, 9. Okay. have a parade of 5-3s. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. So as is, we have lethal and there's nothing they can do about it. Signal pest. Okay. Springleaf drum. Okay. Got blast on the Titania. I think that's their only out. And that's like not even that good. Dispatch. Oh, they're equipping? Oh yeah, so that's basically them conceding. Are you out opponent 20? Defer and explore, just for explore to defer. I don't know, Titan O'Clock. I haven't liked it too much. I haven't liked the addition of the fourth color that much. It was mostly something that I was just trying out to see what happens, you know? It's possible that if you're playing Teferis, you don't want to play Chalice. It's possible that you can just cut all of the Chalices all together, play Bolts instead or something like that. Definitely lots of ways to go. I think I'm keeping this hand. It's slow, but like my interaction is very good and my opponent has a bunch of cards that don't do anything. Like that. I feel like white is already a splash color in the deck. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Which is part of the problem, right? Clean 2 for 2 there. You got a Shadow Spear. And we can use Dryads to win because we have Valakut. I think I'm gonna play Map, play Tapped Stomping Ground on Seigo. Sure. Anybody got Amulet Cyber Tech against Livinant? I mean, Chalice or Graveyard Hate. Whatever Graveyard Hate you have. I don't think there's, you know, any big brain kind of thing to do there. Just, you know, just have your relics ready. Would love to find a Renin 6. Would really love to find a Renin 6. They have dispatch. Or they want to blow up on enchantment. Yeah, wear a tear. Okay. It's a ghost quarter. So what I could do here is I don't think I want to ghost quarter them. So what I can do is I can make a Saga token and then play a Biting Needle naming Ursa Saga. Because I don't think I want to go squatter them, because if I go squatter them, then I'm super far away from my Dryad. No, maybe this is actually just bad. Maybe just go squattering them would have been better. Because now I have to deal with this, like, Shadow Spear. And I guess it's not that big of a deal. But it's sort of annoying. Courser. Can I play a Courser? I think we're going for Suran Orb. No, let's actually get our own Shadow Spear here. Might do this larger, might do this larger. I think Spell Pierce is just bad. Spell Pierce is really bad interaction against Living End. It's way too easy for them to do stuff at instant speed, and then they're just catching you off guard, and that matchup really hinges on the details. So by holding up the 1 mana, it's extremely hard. Another Frogmite. Thought it would be better than Swan Song to get Countess Walker from control. No, I think that it's better to just play Swamp Song. It's a great card for them to have as their last one. Like, now Cranial Plating can actually be a problem. Land? Easy. Can we find another land? Yes! Yes, we can find another land. Game's too easy, man. I think I'm protecting the Dryad from Galvanic Blast here. Yep. Okay, so we win. I'm not gonna fetch because there's no reason to. And I actually like having access to the land. Because now we can trigger Valakut. Valakut there. Titania. This is just garbage time. Yeah. The Affinity matchup is really, really good. The only reason why we lost that first match is obvious. The first game, obviously, is because we moved to 4. So, thank you. Thank you for watching, and see you next round. Okay, playing against the Lurrus deck. I think I want to keep this. Chalice oftentimes pretty strong against Lurrus. We can go turn 1 Triumph, turn 2 Chalice, turn 3 Courser. Another burn? Jesus! It's my 4th time playing against burn in a league and 2 matches. That's insane. That is so much burn. Wow. And those evoke the borderless version. I know what you're talking about, Enrad. Persecuted gasoline. Would you not consider Wood Elves or 1 extra mana? No. The two CMCs is the sweet spot, right? Like that's kind of the point. Oh, they're not playing burn. Okay. God damn it. Same Lurrus deck 3 out of 5 times league games. Yeah, man, like this guy is just. I'm just done. Let's just move on. Let's just take our losses and just accept that we fucked up, you know, and just move on with our lives. And just ban it. Let's just ban it for good. Let's be done with it. Let's just. Why do we have to, you know, deal with playing against this nonsense every other round? Sometimes more often than every other round, honestly. So we're gonna have a dead draw here. Land is good. Another land, not so good. But I guess we chill here. Next turn we can go Foothills into Titania. Yeah, it's probably gonna be around for a minute. Oh shit, they're playing Steam. Wow. That's a lot. They're just playing 4 color? Whew! That's a good one. That's a good draw. We like that draw. Bubble can't get worse, it can only get better. Yep, I agree with that. It's still the most potential to be cracked. It's been a problem for so long, it needs to go, just like bro. Yeah, I think that if you ban Lurrus, you are at least unlocking some other cards from seeing play. I'm not saying that Bubble is not. I'm not saying that Bubble is not a problematic card. I'm saying that if they ban Mishra's Bubble, then we're gonna have to find a new name for our podcast. So we don't want to go there, you know. 3, 6, 9. They can use an instant spell, so they can turn up to 12. So if they have instant, maybe I should have blocked with the Courser. The thing is, I think it's just too much value. Like I'm gonna gain so much life from this Courser. 3 mana. Put Lurrus in hand. Yeah, that's probably game over. And I know that my opponent's gonna be able to like cast the Lurrus and maybe redeploy Goi for something, but woo, that's nice. I guess they can have gut shot, so maybe that was a bad attack. No, it isn't. Opponent's had 1. Oh, I guess I had lethal there. I didn't even notice that my opponent was so low on life. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly just forgot that my opponent was that low on life. I didn't even notice. But yeah, obviously it would have been better to just kill them, but... Would it have been better to just kill them, though? Would it? I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure. Mon is the only form of Lurrus is in banned yet. That speaks volumes of why it's still legal in Modern. Anyway. It's about sending a message. Indeed it is. Limits deck and card diversity. Lurrus literally embodies restricting deck and card diversity. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so our deck is just all gas. My opponent's kind of aggressive though, so I think I do want the Helix. They show me Nekatl. It's just so weird for them to play Nekatl. Maybe we can cut a Ren. Endurance just lines up super well against all of their threats, so I think Endurance is nice. It is in a friend stream without killing creatures over the opponent. I have to stay true. Yeah, I don't know if they're playing 5 color. Did they show me all 5 colors? They had Steam Vents, they had Sacred Foundry, and they had Overgrown Tomb. Yeah, so I guess that they're probably playing Tribal Flames too. I have to assume that they're running Tribal Flames as well. Seems not like an insane hand, but it seems good enough. I wonder if they're playing Discard Spell. I doubt that they're going to, right? No, I don't think Celestia Charm is good enough. So I guess this is my worst fetch, and I'm gonna go fetch a tapped land here. Okay. What I would love to see is a prismatic ending right here. Chalice. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take a Chalice. My opponent didn't play anything on turn 1 though, so unclear how good Chalice actually is going to be. I wonder if they have Hallowed Fountain. There's no way they have Hallowed Fountain, right? So this Cabo is just going to be a 4/4. They exile a card? Okay. Do you even camp? Thank you for the follow. Yeah, just a 4/4. Another Kabu. Am I just playing Chalice on 0? Fuck. So I guess that they're super base green, right? If they can afford to play Force. They have to be super base green. Or we're probably dead unless we find engineered explosives. And even if we do, we don't have the land. Okay. That guy kind of slaps, huh? Territorial Kabu. They missed the point of damage. Maybe we're just dead. Yeah, several times. Okay, I know that I have to play on Force now. I honestly wasn't considering that. I didn't expect that my opponent would be able to play Force in their deck. That's 5 colors, but I guess that they're like super base green. Does that mean I want to cut Chalices? It kind of does. Also, Celestial Charm becomes a lot more exciting. I think this is fine though. Okay, sure. Really digging this. Engineered explosives over here. Just gonna go turn 1 Arid Mesa, go. Fetch Sacred Foundry. No, I don't think Celestial Charm is that good. So I'm probably gonna sit on this turn orb until A, I have to play it, or B, whoops, I totally misclicked there. I guess we're gonna do a little change of plans here. So we're gonna do definitely another green source. So Stomping Ground into Sacred Foundry. Sure, let's do that. Spandig Ending. Gets rid of the monkey. Tarmogoyf. Gonna try to get at least a 2-for-1 from this. If my opponent wants to ping me for 1, I can let this happen for a while. They missed the point. My opponent's really into the whole alternate card thing, huh? They're nice. I think I am fetching and then cycling this Soul Guide. It's not bad. Also not bad. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? I'm just not taking this damage, of course. Playing Surinor because if my opponent wants to blow it up with a force, I'm kind of okay with that. What are the troublesome matches for this list? Tron is the worst. Mill is also the worst. And yeah, Elementals is a little bit problematic as well. This must be the deck that plays Lurrus as a black-white creature the most, right? Would love to find Ren and 6. Ren and 6 would be incredible here. Prismatic ending my Surinor. This makes drawing a Ren and 6 so much better. We're very good against Murktide decks. We're fine against Murktide decks. It's not like outstandingly good or anything. It's just fine. We're okay against them. We found the Titania. Well, I guess we're playing that now. Punished for sacking. Also punished for not playing the endurance on my opponent's end step. I think the 4 color is better against Merc than the base Naya. Not, like, depends. It definitely depends. We're getting Tribal Flames here. What is this? Goif. Tribal Flames. So that means that now they can't play Lurrus though. Saga is a sick draw. Sick draw. So now I'm not gonna trade. We're just gonna chill on this endurance here. Path to exile my elemental token. Yes. That resolves. Path to exile, wow. I have to endurance now so they can't get back a Scourge. That's a fantastic draw. So red, green, white kills that. And now I think I just pass here. This is close. I think I'm just gonna play the explosives for 2. The problem is this makes force that much better now. But I really don't want to take 2 from the Goif. Take a hit from the Goif because then that puts me in tough shape against Tribal Flames. Maybe I should have just made a token and jumped. Maybe I should have just done that. Yeah, I should have just done that. 4 mana, I'm super scared. Hardcast Force. Okay, so that wasn't the end of the world. Something good? Red and 6, for example. Temple Garden. This is not looking good now. I mean, the good thing is that we are just like one good draw step away from just winning, right? Like if we find the Ren, we probably just are gonna win very quickly. They found the Kabu, fuck. Explorer, help me out here. Let's go, let's go. Okay, that does something. At least it does a little bit. So that can chump block, and then I can find Shadow Spear. Dude, this cow is just gonna bury me though. It's just so big. It's just so big. I just gotta find another Titania. If we find another Titania that lines up well against the Kabu, we can be in good shape. I mean, I can't block because the endurance is holding the Walnut Cattle at bay, so I can't block here. Another force? Oh, dude. All right, Titania off the top. Here we go. Titania. Titania off the top. Here we go. Okay. We'll just do like any burn spell or whatever. see what they do first. They discard and draw. I'm gonna block both of their creatures. All right, dead to Bolt, dead to Tribal Flames, dead to a million things here. All right, Titania off the top. Shadow Spear. Don't do this deck. Let's go. I guess I'm gonna attempt to double block. Get blown out by Path to Exile. Get blown out by any removal spell. They just have Bolt. Yeah. Okay. Oh man. All right. See you next round. All right, playing against Selfie Sec. I think that Selfie Sec has been playing Living End lately. Probably when I'm moving into Chalice. I mean, this hand kind of sucks anyway. This is a mulligan Chalice. Keep. I may be wrong, and maybe he isn't playing Living End anymore. It looks like he is. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. I know, but I don't expose the explosives, which means that I have another line to make on the following turn. Like I know I'm still taking the damage, whatever. But at least it gives me somewhere to go, you know? I mean, if they miss their land drop, we do have Soul Guide Lantern. Did hit land drop. So they need to have exactly Shardless. They have exactly Shardless, of course. Yep. Yep. Celavi. Okay, so if we find the green source off the top, we can still stabilize against this. That's not a fucking green source. Are we just dead here? Funny enough, we can actually fix our mana if we wanted to and play Courser. I think we just concede. We just can't beat that. Endurance is good. Smatic Ending is bad. Is this just fine? Let's just... I think this is fine. We're back on the gas. Is this the modern deck to be playing? I've been liking it, Aaron. It's not tier 1, by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been liking it. I think I keep this because this is we can go turn 1 Saga. Which finds Soul Guide Lantern. What is considered tier 1? Hammer Time and Hammer Time. What's the other deck? Blue Red Murktide, Timor Rhinos. Those are the decks to watch out for. Renan 7 is unplayable. The John Saga deck is also very good, yeah. Nah, John Saga is not even close. John Saga is not even remotely close on the realm of comparison to the other tier 1 decks. It's a cute deck, like it's a fine Spike Brew, but it's not a tier deck. Dude. Imagine not having it all, you know? Imagine not having it all. Well, we're dead now. Actually, I shouldn't have played that. That plays right into my opponent's Foundation Breaker right there. So we're going to go get Saga here. And I'm gonna get another Saga. So my strategy is gonna be to try to make a bunch of constructs. No, my opponent's setting up the kill. They're also gonna discard. They're gonna get back the Grief, and they're gonna discard my Titania now. Oh, they found the second Foundation Breaker, dude. Come on, man. Just give me a break. Just give me a break one time. One time, just give me a break. Can I win? I can't win anymore, right? We're done here. Both of my Sagas get destroyed to the fucking breakers. The Grief takes the card in my hand, and they put a shit ton of power into play. Yeah, this is over. Wow, what a blowout. What an absolute blowout. That was not even close. My opponent just had it all. Every single step of the way. There was nothing that I could have done to play around in any of that stuff anyways, right? Man, the 3-0 into 3-2 always feels so bad. Yeah. It just leaves you with a bittersweet taste in the mouth, you know? When you're starting off strong and then you just the wheels kind of fall off. That's fine though. This deck is cool. I'll probably continue playing it. I just having a good time whenever I do. Will it ever be tier 1? I doubt it. I doubt it, but it's one of the things where, you know, you can win. You can win with it. You can do some winning. You can grab some people with their pants down, not being able to do anything. But yeah, I don't know. There's just there's some cards that have been lacking, you know. Maybe these cards should be something else. I feel like these cards are locked. I definitely want these 8 cards to be in my sideboard. And then the remaining 7 can be anything else. Like these are the cards that have been performing well. The Ghost Quarter is kind of medium, but like it's fine. Like these are the cards that have been performing fine. And then like the other ones that I cut are the ones that maybe we don't want to be doing that. Maybe we want to try another Lightning Helix. Another Helix. Some extra stuff against combo would be nice. I guess the tracker is just fine against control. I mean, it's not like insane or anything, but it's kind of okay. Because beating control is probably not easy for us. The new versions of blue-white are just very, very good. Like the ones that we played last week. So we probably wouldn't respect that matchup. I don't think we want to respect that matchup as in put Cavern Souls in our deck, because I don't think that Cavern Souls that our deck can support Cavern Souls really, but yeah, we'll probably have to play the tracker. And then we could play something like Void Mirror. But Void Mirror is just so bad against stuff like Tron. It's just unplayable. No, I think I'd rather have Lightning Helix over Anger. I don't think I want another Graveyard Hate. Like, I already have 3 Endurances and the main deck Soul Guide. What makes them so good? What? The Endurances? I guess maybe I could play a 4th copy of Endurance. Throne hosts control. Throne is unplayable. Throne is an embarrassing card. Throne hasn't beaten a control deck in, I don't know, years at this point. Throne just doesn't do anything. The old days when Tron was an Amulet and John Cybers, yeah, those were the days, simpler times. I always really, really liked the Gaia's Vengeance. I was always a big, big fan of the Gaia's Revenge, sorry. Yeah, Sigarda too, yeah. The blue-white decks, I mean. No, it doesn't. Thrawn just gets brickwalled. Sure, they can't interact with it, but they also don't have to. That's the problem. They just interact with anything else besides the Thrawn, and they kill you. and they use Solitude to race, so your Thron can't outrace this Solitude. Like, it just doesn't work out. We thought about running Summoner of Spec and running a toolbox creature build. Yes, it's bad. Alarm Skull is better. Still bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that last slot should be. Could be another Soul Guide. Maybe a Relic. Maybe a Void Mirror. Maybe a Hushbringer / Torpor Orb. I don't know. What makes the blue-white deck so good? That their answers are so good. Is there any consideration something like Dromoka? I know it's super high up the curve, but I guess I don't know what problems you're trying to solve right now. Well, Dromoka just gets wrathed away, right? So it just doesn't do anything. Prismatic Ending has really changed the... Prismatic Ending has really changed the whole parameter of what's possible for Control to answer, and I think that's a big deal. So is the jump just an answer for Murktide? Yes. It also answers Ragavan by putting a 2/2 in front of it at instant speed. Well, it's everything, Aaron. Like the interaction is very good. Like Counterspell, you can't really do any better than Counterspell unless it's mana drain, you know. Counterspell, Archmage's Charm, and then Chalice of the Void, which obviously is not good against us, but like it's one of the reasons why the control decks are so good. And Solitude. Solitude as free interaction has been an incredible deal. Like I was extremely impressed with the league that we played on Fridays. Like the 2 leagues that we played, and I just copied and pasted this deck list, and like I am like a nobody control player. Like I just like playing control every now and then, but it's not like I'm a control pro. Like I know everything, and like I just still felt so far ahead, almost every single match. It's just like everything just lines up in your favor. Like you're playing against a bunch of creature decks, sure, like Supreme Verdict, whatever, out of here. You're playing against like a deck that's trying to grind you, like Jund or whatever, sure, Solitude, 2-for-1, 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 2-for-1. Everything is a 2-for-1. You're trying playing against like some sort of fucking Cascade deck, sure, Chalice. You're playing against like Urza Saga, Spreading Seas. Like you have every angle is covered. Like you cannot attack this control deck. The only way that this loses is if like the matches that we lost were against aggro where we didn't find the verdict in time, and against Renin 6 where we didn't find an answer to the Renin 6. Or like my opponent just had all the discourse spell for my answers to Renin 6. Like this deck is just fantastic. Big fan of that deck. So that's what makes it so hard to attack, right? So I should just play blue-white control modern. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you're into, yes, it's a really good deck right now. It's probably like the best it's been since Sean McLaren won the Pro Tour. Like I don't think blue-white has been as good in modern as it is right now since Sean McLaren won the Pro Tour in Born of the Gods. That was the last time that we had a blue-white X control deck at this level of quality. It's been a long time since Blue-White was tier 1. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Field of the Dead I miss it. Yeah, Field of the Dead would have been like a very easy way to beat on blue-white control, but would just been a spike when I try to play a top tier deck, unless I can play Amulet and just outplay the field local to me. Yeah, for sure. If you only care about winning, what I recommend right now is the John Sagavan deck. I think that deck is very good. That's in my opinion. I don't know if the best Lurrus deck because Hammer is also Lurrus deck, but it's one of the best decks. And then blue white, and I think blue white is better than blue red Murktide at this point. I think it has established itself as the better blue mid range / control deck. But yeah, yes, okay. I guess this is where I would wanna go next. I think I kind of like the Arid Mesa over the Blast Zone, if I'm being honest. You know what I should do is I should probably, like, next time that I play this list, I'm going to do this, and I'm gonna have like a mismatch in Mesa, and then whenever I draw this Arid Mesa, I would try to consider what would happen if this were a Blast Zone instead. So like the next time that I play this list is gonna be, I'm gonna be doing some experimenting like that. That's gonna be it from me today. So, but I think yeah, that's gonna be it from me today. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.